Lakefront TV, and welcome back to Cafe. We hope you enjoyed the excitement of March with all the events and happenings in Leesburg and Lake County. I'm your host, Christy, and I'm joined by my friend and co-host, Marcus.
Christy, it's good to be back at Cafe. It's good to see you, and it's good to be in the month of April.
We have a lot brewing in April, Marcus. Why don't you kick it off by telling us what's happening in Leesburg?
Christy, I'd be happy to. We invite you to discover Leesburg every second Friday of the month from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. in downtown Leesburg. Enjoy an evening market, delicious food trucks, and live music while you stroll and discover downtown Leesburg. Get ready for the 8th annual Leesburg Fish Fry on Thursday, April 2nd from 5:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. at the historical Moat Morris House. Enjoy Major League Fishing on April 11th with the BFL Gator 4 Professional Fishing at Venetian Gardens. Kick off the celebration of America's 250th birthday with the America 250 Monument dedication ceremony on April 13th at Veterans Memorial Park, dedication of a monument to the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence and our first patriot in Leesburg. Celebrate Earth Day on April 18th. Free family event to celebrate Earth Day at the Community Medical Center, a blood mobile bus, antique car show, sales of plants, baked goods, jewelry, raffles, and auction. The 29th annual Bike Fest returns to Leesburg. For 3 days, downtown Leesburg will be transformed into a biker's paradise. Enjoy amazing entertainment from local bands, merchandise, food and drinks, and much more. All taking place April 24th through April 26th. This year's music headlines includes Lita Ford on Friday, April 24th, Everclear on Saturday, April 25th, and Sister Hazel, that's right, Sister Hazel on Sunday, April 26th. For more information, visit LeesburgBikeFest.com. That's what's brewing in Leesburg. Here's what's brewing countywide.
Don't miss the Vintage Garden Show on Saturday, April 4th. Antique Center, consignment, street of shops, the stables, pavilions, and the outdoors. Spring is here. Shop for antiques, collectibles, vintage items, plants, and garden decor. Keep Lake Beautiful is hosting a cleanup guild in Leesburg on Saturday, April 4th. Join the KLB Cleanup Guild to remove litter across Lake County. The team works as a group to clean our communities and protect our waterways and natural spaces. The town of Howey in the Hills invites families to the annual Easter Egg Dash on Saturday, April 4th. Bring the kids and enjoy a morning filled with springtime fun and family activities, including Easter Egg Dash and Golden Egg Hunt, pictures with the Easter Bunny also. The Talk of Town comedy show is coming to Eustis on Saturday, April 4th. An unforgettable evening of laughter. Doors open at 6:30 p.m. and the show kicks off at 7 p.m. Hosted by James John, this event features dry bar comedian Cameron Vallone and headliner comedian Top Fly. Celebrate Easter Sunday at the Easter Grand Brunch Buffet in Howey in the Hills on Sunday, April 5th. A delicious brunch featuring chef carving stations, breakfast favorites, fresh seafood, savory entrees, and much more. Springtime will arrive in Lake Mary in Eustis with the Springtime Lake Mary event on Thursday, April 9th. Join staff and explore the habitats and species of Lake Mary Reserve. Enjoy collectibles? Then you should come out to the Florida Military Collector Show on April 11th in Mount Dora. The Florida Military Collector Show is a one-day event, and it's one of the largest military collector shows in the Southeast. It's time for the 2026 Move with the Mad Claremont Walk and 5K, a signature fundraising event to help us raise awareness and funds to end impaired driving for good on Saturday, April 11th. It is Pause and Bloom time with the Pause and Bloom 5K in Umatilla. Pause and Bloom is a pet-friendly run-walk 5K benefiting the Humane Society of Lake County, Saturday, April 11th. The Sand Ballers Candyland Showdown Volleyball Tournament and Festival is coming to Tavares on April 11th. Highly entertaining festival atmosphere and much more. A Spoonful of Sugar on April 12th in Groveland, an afternoon of raffles, bake sale, and cakewalk. Proceeds support 40-plus free programs in art, science, and STEAM. The Mount Dora ice cream stroll is on April 12th. Downtown Mount Dora turns into a sweet-tasting trail. Claremont Arts and Jazz Festival is on Saturday, April 18th. Join the City of Claremont for the first ever Claremont Art and Jazz Fest, a dynamic two-day celebration of world-class jazz and visual art. April 25th is the 27th Annual World Tai Chi and Qigong Day celebration in Claremont. Celebrate the 11th year hosting the global movement. Millions around the world practice Tai Chi in unison across time zones. And finally, as a reminder, something unusual is happening at the historic Tropic Theater right here in Leesburg. An exclusive art exhibit, a room full of guests, and then, without a warning, a shocking crime. The Great Tropic Art Heist is coming to the historic Tropic Theater in downtown Leesburg, and you're invited. Join us Friday, May 29th from 7 to 9:30 p.m. Enjoy delicious hors d'oeuvres, drinks, and a fully immersive experience. You can purchase tickets at melonpatchplayers.org.
Never a dull moment in Lake County, not to mention events taking place at the Leesburg Public Library and the Leesburg Arts Center.
What event are you actually looking forward to the most, Marcus?
As you can see today, I am dressed. I am looking forward to Bike Fest. I can't wait. I love Bike Fest. Look forward to it every year. What about yourself?
Well, I am looking forward to the ice cream stroll because I like ice cream.
What event are you looking forward to? Let us know on Facebook and Instagram at Lakefront TV. April is Autism Awareness Month, and when we return, we'll be speaking with Samantha Owens, a learning specialist at Beacon College here in Leesburg, a four-year college that specializes in supporting neurodiverse students. Samantha joins us in Culture Corner right after this.
Before we go to break, here is a recap of this year's Leesburg Art Festival.
Right now, I'm walking through Town Square in downtown Leesburg, where artists from across the region have transformed the streets into an outdoor gallery. The 49th Annual Rotary Leesburg Arts Festival is bringing together painters, sculptors, and craftsmen, and thousands of visitors who came out to experience it all. Richard, as people walk through the festival today, what do you hope that they experience?
My hope for the Leesburg Arts Festival for 2026 is the people will come here and see a variety of different kinds of art, from painting to jewelry to ceramics, and enjoy the experience of being here in Town Square in our beautiful city.
Awesome. How does this year's art festival kind of relate to last year's?
Well, it's very similar in terms of its footprint. It's a little bit bigger. We've expanded over here onto Market Street, but we're very happy with how it's turned out and the sort of the mixture of different kinds of artists that we have.
And what kinds of artists do you have here today?
Well, again, from a medium standpoint, we have painting, we have resin art, we have pour painting, we have jewelry. We have several excellent ceramic artists. We've got we've got a few crafts, and it's kind of a mixture, and that's what I like about it.
I'm here with a local artist selling her beautiful paintings, and her name is Mina. What's it like getting to talk with people as they look at your art?
I like to tell who I am, how old I am, and it makes people smile.
I love that. What kind of art are you selling?
I'm selling oil painting on a rice gold paper, a paper which I made of wrinkled rice paper, and I put a gold color on it, silver color on it, wait till it dry. It's a process. Then I start to paint using oil painting on it, probably 3 layers of oil.
How long have you been painting?
Oh, 40 years, a long time.
I love that. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
More than 70 artists line the streets displaying everything from paintings and sculptures to handmade jewelry and photography. Throughout the festival, visitors stop to browse the artwork, talk with artists, and even watch some of them create pieces right in front of them. I'm here with City Commissioner Alan Reisman, and can you tell me a little bit about this table that we have here?
So today I'm out here not only as a City Commissioner but also representing Leesburg in Bloom, which is part of a national program called America in Bloom, but the City of Leesburg allocated funds for Leesburg in Bloom. So we have different initiatives going on, like the community garden over at the Resource Center. We have the pollinator garden at the library. We have business planters.
Yeah.
So if you're a local business, we provide the planter and the soil. We just ask that you change the plants out 4 times a year. And we have so many other things coming up. I know at the pollinator garden, once it gets a little more established, we're going to do a butterfly release in June. Lots of things happening here in the City of Leesburg.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
This festival isn't just about viewing art, it's about experiencing it. Families explored the booths, children tried hands-on activities, and artists demonstrated their techniques throughout the day.
Welcome back to Culture Corner. I'm Marcus Knoblack, and today we're celebrating Autism Acceptance Month. We're joined by Samantha Owens, a learning specialist at Beacon College here in Leesburg, a 4-year college that specializes in supporting neurodiverse students. Samantha, welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
April is Autism Acceptance Month. Can you explain the difference between autism awareness and autism acceptance? Why that distinction matters?
So autism awareness is really the baseline. It's being aware that autism and autism spectrum disorder exist, maybe what it looks like, how it's presented in individuals. It's very much just the basic understanding of autism. Acceptance is really what we should be moving towards. Acceptance requires a lot more. So it is learning from autistic individuals, learning how to support them, and starting to actually make that change. So changing our workplaces so that they work for autistic individuals, and changing how we interact and what we're expecting from interactions. Autism acceptance really starts to move past just the awareness into making our society more fit and making sure that it works for individuals with autism.
Beacon College is right here in Leesburg. It's known for specializing in neurodiversity. Can you tell us a bit about what makes the college unique in supporting students on the autism spectrum?
So our college is the first 4-year accredited college that specifically serves neurodiverse students. So a part of our population is students with autism, and because we have a small number of students at the school, we're able to provide a lot more individualized support than what students would get at a larger college or university. So we have learning specialists, and that's what I do. I'm a learning specialist. We work one-on-one with our students to provide executive functioning support, so things like task initiation, prioritization, all of that support that students need to do well academically, we provide. And then we also have lots of non-academic support too. So we have things that are really helpful for students with autism, like social skills supports. We have a workshop that's called Friends. That's all about learning social skills and getting to practice them in a structured environment. We have peer mentoring programs, and we even have things like clubs that are high interest to students, like our Dungeons and Dragons club, but it's high interest and still allowing skill development. So we have lots of different things to make sure that students academically and socially are really thriving.
What are some of the common misconceptions about individuals on the autism spectrum that you encounter in schools or community?
So there's lots of misconceptions that I've heard before. I think the biggest one is that people think that every individual with autism is going to look and act in exactly the same way. The thing about, and this saying is pretty common, but if you've met one individual with autism, you've met one individual with autism. Everybody is going to have different strengths and different challenges. And so it's important to recognize that just because you've met one person doesn't mean that you know what every other person with autism is going to be like. I think kind of going off of that, another misconception is that autism ends or is cured once people are 18 years old, once they're adults. Media portrays autism really a lot with young kids, and so we don't really see that it doesn't end when they're adults, and they actually need support once they are adults too, and that support needs to be a little bit different. So that's a big misconception. And then I think another one is sometimes people think that individuals with autism don't want social connections. They might struggle with social connections, but that doesn't mean that they don't want to have social connections. Right. We just need to be willing to work and help and listen to them so that they can develop those social connections.
How can communities, schools, and workplace better support people with autism, not just April, but year-round?
One of the big things is listening to individuals with autism, right? So like I said before, everybody with autism is different. They're going to need different supports. So getting information from individuals with autism about how you can support them best is probably the best thing that you can do. There's also a lot of like small changes that workplaces or schools can make to help support individuals. Things like having different lighting options available, because sometimes individuals with autism struggle with sensory processing. So having lower lights available instead of just the big kind of really bright lights like what we have here, that can be helpful. Things like being accepting of individuals who need to communicate in different ways than what we're used to. So it's being willing to interact with people when they're using an AAC device, which is an alternative method for communication. Those are really small steps that anybody can take to be more accepting.
For the parents and families navigating autism diagnosis, what advice or resources you typically recommend?
Every community is going to be different with what supports they have available. In the state of Florida, though, we do have something called Center for Autism and Related Disabilities, or CARD, that are at the major universities. Like UCF would be the closest one for anybody who's in Leesburg, and they do provide support services and recommendations for children and adults with autism. So that's always a big recommendation. And then doing research and learning from individuals with autism. There's books, there's movies, there's podcasts, there's everything that's available out there is also another recommendation, so that you're getting the perspective from somebody who has the same diagnosis, I think is always really helpful.
You work with students on their learning and social skills. Are there specific strategies or accommodations that have proven helpful for success?
One of the things that I do is I help oversee a peer mentoring program for students where our mentors are neurodiverse students and they are mentoring neurodiverse students, including students with autism. And one of the things that we've definitely seen is that students learn really well from their peers. So having a program like that at Beacon College has been really helpful. And then my big thing with students is making sure that they get connected to tools that they can use after college too. So things like assistive technology tools that are available to help them with reading and writing. I always make sure I recommend those to students. And then executive functioning skills tend to be something students struggle with, so making sure that they know how to chunk assignments, make visual schedules, create to-do lists. Those are things that not only will help them in college and even like in elementary, middle, and high school, but also beyond. So I always try to work with students on those things.
How can viewers get involved in promoting acceptance and understanding in their community?
Every community is going to be different, but if there's like events going on in April, especially, I'm sure there's some that are focused on autism awareness and autism acceptance, I think attending those is always a great idea. I think one of the big things, especially for families, is for parents to model that acceptance. So to show their kids that it's okay to interact with somebody who maybe is struggling with interacting in the way that we're used to, that it's okay to communicate with somebody when they're using a different method of communication than what we're used to. I think modeling that acceptance is one of the best things that parents and families can really do, so that our future generations, acceptance is just a norm for them.
Thank you for this information. This information is going to be very helpful for our viewers. Thank you for being here on Cafe as well in our corner. To our viewers, remember that autism isn't just for April, it's for every day. If you want to learn more, check out Beacon College in Leesburg, a four-year college leading the way in neurodiversity support. That wraps up our segment for today of Culture Corner of the cafe. Stay tuned for more, and remember, understanding and acceptance makes our community stronger. Welcome back to Cafe. It's that time, the time where Christy spills the tea on what's trending.
Well, Marcus, the Academy Awards, the Oscars, was last month, and a Netflix documentary, The Perfect Neighbor, was nominated for Best Documentary. The film centers around a 2023 Florida murder and investigation. Congratulations to the team for being nominated.
That's really interesting.
Another interesting tie to the Oscars, Lakefront TV's producer and writer Ken Facey has also been part of the Academy Award-winning productions for his work on several projects at the Walt Disney Company.
That's awesome. What else is trending locally, Christy?
With April being Autism Awareness Month, SeaWorld Orlando has been designated as a certified autism center by the International Board of Credentialing and Continuing Education Standards.
That's amazing. SeaWorld Orlando is right around our backyard.
That's right. Finally, National Burrito Day was April 2nd, but don't worry if you missed out. You can still visit Palma Mexican Grill in Leesburg to celebrate.
That's where I'm heading right now. We'll be right back. What a great show. Thank you for joining us on Cafe today.
We'll see you next month and continue to enjoy our beautiful lakefront city.